How's it, people? It's set to be a beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is just coming up and I thought I'd put this video together. Something a little bit different today. The ones on the cottage should be coming back next week because I'm set to start working here again on Wednesday. Reason for this is a good friend of mine suggested that I put a series of videos together talking about how I've kind of got through things, or motivation through adversity, as I've coined it. So yeah, at the end of last year, I was all set to get said cottage done. Had it all lined up, everything in place. Finance was pulled at the last minute, which meant that I lost 6 months worth of work this year, and basically the whole dream that I was working toward, the rug was pulled out from underneath me, so to speak. Fortunately, when I thought I had a load of money coming, I'd booked a nice holiday. I couldn't actually afford to go on the holiday really, but it was booked, so I went. Took that time to take a bit of time out and think over Christmas, and looked at what I had got, which was a load of time basically. Looked at what I wanted from life, so that was to focus on boxing and compete, and said to myself, okay, spend this year doing that. So that is what I've been doing. Reason for this video in particular, I was chatting to someone the other day. They're in a situation in their life where they're not particularly happy with things. They're kind of, I suppose, they're stuck in a bit of a rut really, and chatting through it with them, looking at their situation, and it almost seemed counterproductive, but what I kind of noticed was that they're just too comfortable. They need to change, something needs to happen to change, but the current situation they're in, they're just too comfortable, so there's no necessity. I quite often use the term gift of desperation, which has been a huge factor in my life. I've been through some fairly challenging things and kind of come out the other side. So yeah, it's a big one. And then I got thinking about my current situation. So, just trying to think where to start here. In November, I moved into said chicken shed, which is all rather nice. It has water, it has hot running water, it has underfloor heating so your toes stay nice and warm. It's got a lovely little sofa and a nice little wood burner, which is all rather lovely and rather nice. So yeah, I've been pretty comfortable. Until yesterday, Saturday morning, when the bank manager phoned me up and he's like, mate, you need to pay your credit card. And I explained to him, I said, look, you know, since Christmas I kind of only been working a 45-hour week, not been doing weekends, not been doing overtime, and I put all this time into the gym. You know, I put hours and hours and hours working really hard, so surely all those hours in the gym can pay my credit card. And he's like, nah, afraid not. So off to work I went. So I knew this was coming, and I went to one of my amazing mentors, aka Yoda, because she just knows like everything. I said, I've got this situation. Basically, there's not as much money coming in as what's going out. What can I do about it? And she said, well, you've got an asset there, you've got something that's designed as a holiday let, so let it out. And I said, well, I will do at the moment, but I'm kind of quite comfortable at the moment. Then she pointed out the lack of money and I went, yeah, that is going in to holiday let in about 4 weeks time. What that means is I've got to move into a caravan, some sort of temporary accommodation. I'm going from having something very nice and very comfortable to being actually quite uncomfortable. So, what's the point of all this? Well, when something's got to change in life, you need a motivator, you need to do something different. when you're in a place that's very comfortable, quite often you don't have that motivation. So by moving out of that, it can spur you on and help you to do it. And I'm not saying by any means that everyone should, you know, go out and put themselves in a place that's of discomfort or anything like that, because do you know what, if life's going really good and everything's really good and you're happy and you're loving life and you wake up every day living the dream, don't change anything. You're doing great. If it's not broke, don't fix it. What this is for is for those people who are in a situation, be it lacking in finance, in a relationship, I don't know, it might be abusive, might be boring, you might just not like the person, you don't like where you live, you want to lose weight. All of these things is generally because someone's sat in a place that's comfortable. So even to the example of, say it's a relationship, someone's not happy, you could say, yeah, not comfortable, but it's familiar. And people will sit in familiarity, even if they don't like it, even if it's not nice, because it's kind of what you know, and it's easier, isn't it? So moving out of that and making a bit of sacrifice, like losing weight, that's a huge one. You know, who really wants to not eat all the nice ice cream and chocolate bars and spend their time in the gym or out walking or running rather than sat on the sofa? No one wants to do that. That's rubbish. But that's the sacrifice you've got to make in order to get where you want to get to sometimes. So, hope that is of some help, use, goodness. Someone really appreciate some feedback. I have stepped right out of my comfort zone doing this. I didn't really want to do this especially, but I thought actually sometimes you've got to move out of your comfort zone. So yeah, really appreciate any feedback, any comments. If anyone's struggling with anything, give us a shout and speak to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.